I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, and how he was acting, being that, I'm a real individual. I just felt like, we was all cool at one point in time. And
now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No, I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now, imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36, and we fight.
24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud.
In a bold live interview, Terrence Crawford sent a clear message to Floyd Mayweather and the entire boxing world. Crawford said Floyd already had his era, his moment, and his legacy, but now, according to him, this is his time. He made it clear that boxing has moved forward, and he sees himself as the man leading the sport in this generation. Crawford did not sound uncertain or overly respectful in the traditional way. He sounded like a fighter who truly believes he is now the face of boxing. For him, the conversation should no longer stay trapped in the past. Floyd's greatness is already written, but Crawford wants the spotlight on what he is.
Podcast for Jake and Tyson, and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
Floyd Mayweather, of course, had his own response. He reminded fans that he also dominated Canelo Alvarez, and he did it when he was already older and further into his career. Floyd's point was simple. If Crawford's biggest claim comes from beating Canelo, then that does not automatically put him above Mayweather, because Floyd already gave Canelo a boxing lesson years ago. For Mayweather, that win still represents one of the greatest displays of ring IQ in modern boxing. So in his view, Crawford's victory is impressive, but not enough to suddenly place him ahead of a man who already handled the same opponent in masterful fashion. Oh,
Canelo's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same. Now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No, I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now, imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36, and we fight. And now what y'all gonna say? Well, now he got what? I don't know how many fights he got.
Some analysts have gone even further, arguing that Crawford still cannot be placed next to Mayweather in the all-time debate. Their biggest reason is Floyd's perfect 50-0 record, which remains one of the strongest symbols of boxing greatness. To them, Crawford's success is undeniable, but it still does not match the spotless dominance Floyd maintained throughout his career. That is why some experts say Crawford needs one more massive challenge if he wants to truly silence every doubt: a fight against David Benavidez. Benavidez is seen as a dangerous, naturally bigger, physically imposing threat. Beating him would not just prove skill, it would prove fearlessness. Until Crawford takes that kind of risk, some believe he will never fully rise to Mayweather's level in history.
Floyd's record, right? Floyd's legacy is 50-0, 24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford, but both of their best wins are Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was a younger, greener Canelo when Floyd beat him. Bud beat an older, slower, but more seasoned Canelo. Now, Bud's not going to surpass Floyd because of the record. He's not going to make 50-0. Bud has to separate himself. What he has to do is do something that Floyd didn't do. Take on the challenges that people were scared for you to take. Just that's what separates Leonard and Duran from the rest. If Bud Crawford beats David Benavidez, he will surpass Floyd Mayweather as far as on the old-time list. As of right now, if Bud Crawford retires, I would have him somewhere around the top 5, top 6.
Trainer Robert Garcia does not agree with that logic at all. He believes Crawford is far too smart to risk everything by stepping in with a naturally much bigger fighter like Benavidez. In Garcia's view, Crawford already has an elite legacy, and taking that fight would be more reckless than necessary. Garcia sees Benavidez as a serious danger because of his size, pressure, and power. He believes Crawford knows how to protect his greatness without jumping into a matchup that could damage his unbeaten run for no real reason. For Garcia, greatness is not always about taking the craziest fight available. Sometimes it is about making smart decisions that preserve a near perfect.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk, but it is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Jeff Mayweather offered a more balanced view. He gave Crawford full credit for outboxing Canelo, but he also said the win should be judged with context. According to Jeff, Canelo was not the same sharp, explosive fighter people remember from his best years. He felt Alvarez lacked the same sting, timing, and danger that once made him so feared. Jeff's point was not that Crawford's win was ordinary. Far from it. He simply believes people should stop acting like one win automatically erases every debate. Crawford was excellent, but Jeff says the condition of the opponent still matters when comparing such victories to what Floyd accomplished in his own era.
Canelo knocks him out in the first half of the fight because he couldn't handle the power, and obviously that proved not to be, or to be the case, that Crawford could definitely handle the power. Were you surprised that, it didn't look like, maybe once or twice it looked like maybe Crawford felt it, but never in any kind of real trouble?
Yeah, I don't think that Canelo really hit him. I mean, he hit him a couple times clean, but I mean, Crawford, Crawford's a big guy too. Crawford took it like it was nothing. I mean, and he hit Canelo a few times. I mean, and Canelo took it as well. So I mean, basically, at the end of the day, I mean, they both took decent shots from each other, but Crawford just didn't get hit as much as Canelo did.
Do you think that was a case of you can't Canelo's a guy that's not out there throwing huge combinations, like he's more of a punch at a time kind of guy, and that's not going to work against someone as slick and talented as Bud Crawford.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, basically Canelo was looking for just one big shot, trying to land a big shot on Crawford, but Crawford wasn't having it. And Crawford at times would say, I guess he would say to himself, I need to, do a little more work, and basically, and it seemed like he just did that, and he would let his hands go.
Then came the strong criticism from Roy Jones Jr., who questioned Floyd Mayweather's legacy from a different angle. Roy argued that outside of the Canelo fight, Floyd did not always face the very best fighters exactly when they were at their peak. He suggested that many names on Floyd's resume came with timing advantages, whether due to age, size, or where those opponents were in their careers. That is why Roy believes the legend around Mayweather can sometimes feel bigger than the actual reality of the matchups. He is not denying Floyd's greatness, but he is challenging the idea that Mayweather's resume is beyond criticism. And And when you compare that to a fighter like Crawford, who many believe has shown extraordinary versatility, the debate becomes much more serious.
Floyd Mayweather, top 5 of
No,
all
not in
time?
my book. No,
Not even
not
top
in my
10.
book. Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5.
10.
He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem is. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought him? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he going to prison when he get through. And then to take it even further.
He fought Cotto.
Cotto was
Manny
not on his
Pacquiao,
level. Wait. See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question.
Cotto already was done. And is Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto's not an all-time great in the boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great.
I
All
agree
right,
with
so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Pacquiao. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them best 2 names you can pull up besides Canelo?
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't fight?
So my point is I'm not going to say who
because
would
I can't name a person.
I'm not going to say who would have beat Floyd. Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James.
Another analyst focused on the difference between fame and pure talent. He admitted that Floyd Mayweather's popularity, business success, and global reach are almost impossible to match. Floyd turned boxing into a giant money machine and became one of the sport's biggest stars ever. But when it comes to raw boxing, ability, this analyst believes Terence Crawford may actually be superior. Crawford's natural southpaw style, combined with his rare ability to switch stances smoothly in the middle of a fight, gives him a level of adaptability that very few fighters in history have shown. That has led many fans to ask a huge question. Should greatness be measured by money and fame, or by technical skill and in-ring versatility?
Terence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who wins this fight? I'm going with Terence Crawford, and I don't think that's unpopular or crazy to say. I think most people will agree with me. I understand Floyd Mayweather has a lot of fans out there, but the truth is, as great as Floyd Mayweather is, Terence Crawford is one of one. And I say that because who else has knockout power in both hands, is able to switch stances between orthodox and southpaw so seamlessly while having great footwork? It's not like Terence Crawford is some stationary target or a flat-footed fighter that's going to be chasing Floyd around. Terence Crawford knows how to cut the ring off. He has tremendous ring IQ. And not only is he a great boxer, but he's a great fighter. He'll be able to make it dirty. If he is on the inside with Floyd, that power will carry him far. And I just don't see how Floyd will be able to beat a Terence Crawford. I really don't see it. I understand Floyd's defense is incredible, but he is smaller than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford would have a significant reach advantage on Floyd Mayweather. I believe Terence Crawford would also be taller than Floyd Mayweather, as well as all the skillful and technical aspects of what I just laid out prior. So I don't understand how anybody could pick Floyd Mayweather to beat Terence Crawford. Styles make fights, and I believe Terence has the style to beat one Floyd Mayweather. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion, subscribe for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.
Shane Mosley added another layer by pointing to the obvious physical difference between the two men. In his opinion, Crawford has a natural size advantage that Floyd never had. Being the bigger fighter allows Crawford to move across divisions while still carrying strength, power, and presence in a way that Mayweather could not always rely on. Mosley was not trying to diminish Floyd's genius. He praised Mayweather's defense, timing, and intelligence. But he also believes direct comparisons can be unfair because Crawford's frame gives him opportunities Floyd simply never had. That physical edge changes how both men are judged, and it makes the debate more complicated than fans sometimes admit.
Out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he move in weight class
and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Jeff Mayweather came back with another strong defense of Floyd by once again bringing up the Canelo fight. He reminded fans that Floyd was already past his prime when he beat Alvarez. He was older, not as explosive, and no longer the same version of himself physically. Yet he still made Canelo look lost through pure ring IQ and experience. That is why Jeff believes Floyd's win over Canelo still carries a special kind of greatness. In his eyes, Crawford's victory was outstanding, but Floyd did it while dealing with age and wear. For Jeff, that makes Mayweather's performance even more impressive and keeps his greatness on another level. Nice oitinain.
Also, if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose?
20s.
I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, it shows, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Want to
make himself look like he did something great.
Crawford himself has handled the Floyd comparisons with a mix of respect and confidence. He has openly admitted that Mayweather's legacy is permanent and that what Floyd achieved in boxing can never be erased. Crawford is not pretending Floyd was not great. At the same time, Crawford has made it clear that every era eventually comes to an end. He believes boxing must always move forward, and he sees himself as the man carrying the sport into its next chapter. So while he respects Floyd's place in history, he refuses to stand in Floyd's shadow. Crawford's message is simple. Floyd was the king of his time, but this time belongs to me.
I have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
Nope. Nope.
No friends in this business for you?
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
I beat your ass.
Okay, that's a no.
Trainer Greg Hackett also praised Crawford heavily after the Canelo win. He said the victory was huge for Crawford's legacy, and even strengthened the argument that Crawford now stands above Canelo historically. That is major praise and shows just how big the result was in boxing terms. However, Hackett also made it clear that this does not automatically place Crawford above Floyd Mayweather. In his view, Floyd's body of work is still much larger, deeper, and more proven over time. Crawford deserves respect for a career-defining win, but one iconic performance does not instantly erase everything Mayweather built over decades. That is why this debate remains so intense. Crawford is building something special, but Floyd's mountain is still incredibly hard to climb.